much.
Let's moving on to football. So the highlight of the story is that, and I wouldn't call it absolutely exciting, but then it's I would call it more concerning than exciting that Chelsea will be facing Manchester City tomorrow in Premier League. So, Kandal, just to give you some context, Chelsea are on a very torrid run of fixtures where we are facing one party after the other. And just last weekend, we had this absolutely roller coaster of a game against Tottenham, which we won, and the scoreline says 4-1, and that looks kind of dominant. We put 4 goals in the back of their net, and they scored only one, but it was anything but that. The Tottenham, these people, and Lampard historically called it 3 point lane. That's just a fixture where you go to White Hart Lane, you come back with 3 points. That was the routine. And even when Tottenham comes to Stamford Bridge, it's not even a competition. But then things have changed. The Tottenham coach, he gave us a run for our money, and we had to struggle to win against a team that had only 9 players on the pitch and who were playing absolute suicide ball by putting,
Mind you,
they played the
not 10.
offside trap at almost half
10
line.
is an insane advantage in football. 10 versus 11.
It
It
is
was a 9-11.
9-11, yeah. And
Yeah,
even
yeah.
then, we had to struggle. So there are people who say that Postecoglu was simply absolutely out of his mind to play that higher line against a team which had a two-man advantage. But then you can actually, if you put some thought into it, you can see that he had an idea what he was doing, because what he was doing was that he was playing an offside trap, and he knew, and there was disrespect involved in it, because I bet he wouldn't dare do that against any Chelsea team of the old. No, he wouldn't. Like, even you can be as ballsy as you want to be, but you are not doing that against the mid 2000s Chelsea team or the mid 2010s Chelsea team or the late 2000s Chelsea team. You wouldn't dare. But here, what he was doing was that he was putting all the players forward, and he was very sure that the Chelsea runners from deep would not be able to time their runs to the passes and would be got called offside. B, the passes wouldn't be perfect. So any overhit pass that crosses the defensive line would be swept up by the goalkeeper Vicario, who I would say was doing an amazing job of it. But in the end, and by putting the players so much forward, he was also creating opportunities for them, getting set pieces in dangerous situations. So it was a game that ultimately we won, but I wouldn't say it was a convincing victory in any way. Kriska, I would like to hear about what you think about Chelsea's performance as somebody who doesn't really support Chelsea or doesn't have any feelings for Chelsea.
Man, you forgot the
Sadly.
fact that I own a Tottenham jersey and you have jumped to my feelings
And I wonder
about
why.
Chelsea. I'll be honest, I just got that to piss you off, man. I don't have any affliction with the team. I know how much it will drive you crazy. That is all there is to it. But going back to the discussion, I absolutely love the performance from Tottenham. And you know this, as a Barca fan, we take pride in defeat if it means uh, it comes from a beautiful play structure and possession style, etc., right? And everything that I wish Barca were of its old self, Tottenham was that.
Yeah.
They played a high line, the firebrand type of football that you'll wonder if it was Tottenham or peak Jose Mourinho, right? With Son and Kulusevski cutting in. I don't know. I forgot if Madison played that game or if he was injured for
Madison
that.
got
But
injured
I
and had to leave.
injured in the
Exactly. So
game.
that's
Yeah.
what piled odds against Tottenham.
Yeah.
Madison and Van de Ven both had to leave with injuries. So not
Yeah.
only were they playing against a two-man advantage,
Um,
they also had two of their best players in
best
the
players
respective
taken out,
positions
right?
leave the pitch.
And I know we have had this discussion in our football group whether the suicide ball was really worth it. If you ask me, it was totally worth it, right?
It
Tottenham
was. I would
finally
agree.
have an identity beyond just pass it to Harry Kane or Son, right? And that's going to make all the difference. I know the counter argument is a single point here could have made a lot of difference when it comes to those crunch Champions League spots towards the business end of the season. But establishing an identity, a playing style, and putting the fear in the minds of the opposition. Like, when was the
Yeah.
last time you faced Tottenham and you saw them like a Liverpool, right? So
Never,
every
man. Never.
team
Like,
that is
Tottenham,
gonna
it's
come in,
Tottenham.
yeah.
So
So
Tottenham Chelsea, like you said, was never a rivalry. We always kicked their asses.
And as far
But
as I remember, they were always rivals with number 4 forever Arsenal, right? So,
Ars-
uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
but all of a
North
sudden, I
London
mean,
was more of a rivalry than London ever was. So
yeah, I
West
mean,
Side
yeah,
has always been on top.
yeah. Me being a football novice, I can clearly say that Tottenham are probably pegged much higher in recent years than how they were before.
They are on an upturn. They have their fortunes have turned around, Khandalf, and
Yeah,
under
yeah.
Postecoglu, I would be scared of them. I am
Yeah.
already, but I would be more
Exactly.
scared in the years to
Mm.
come. And I'm so glad that Harry Kane left the club because put him in that team, and they're crazy dangerous. So
Yeah.
thankfully he has left. Now moving on to the fixture tomorrow. So back in the day, again, like if you put historical context to this, this was never a competition, but we all know that times have changed recently. And Manchester City, they won the trouble last year. So as a Chelsea fan, if you were to ask me what my expectation is for going into tomorrow's match, I will not be disappointed with the defeat because that is the expected result. I will absolutely celebrate a draw because taking 1 point off that City team with the condition that we are in, massive achievement. If Chelsea were to by some miracle win the fixture, I'm going to be absolutely elated. I'm going to be ecstatic. I'm going to be euphoric. And I have this theory that life throws shit at you when you are too happy. And if at all Chelsea were to get a result against City, I would exactly be that, and I would try to balance out my feelings by I don't know, by doing something bad, by watching something sad. Maybe I would watch Brahmastra a second time, or watch the new movie
Or
Adipuri
you could just watch any of the Chelsea games except the one against City.
yeah, anything not exactly Kriska, but yeah, being very cheeky, but I'll let you have this because we are not exactly in the good terms. So I absolutely do not expect Chelsea to beat City, but if we were to, I would be elated. Now going
I'm
into the
going to
game,
watch I'm going to watch Brahmastra a second time to see how it feels like.
yeah, I would
I'll
not
give you a hint.
suggest
It's
that
like
as a.
watching Chelsea play for the first time.
Nah, not exactly. It's like watching Barcelona play in UEFA Champions League. It's depressing. So,
I
moving
think
on to
before
the game
we,
and the players involved, I would say City are much better placed than us because we are again a road team, and we don't have all our best players in fully fit ability to just take to the game. So they have the edge in every single way imaginable, and I think one key plays that I think will matter in the game is that City's new winger Jeremy Doku. So this guy is a one-on-one demon. He's a speed monster, and his dribbling is absolutely crazy, which it always was because when he played in the Belgium national team, we could see how good a dribbler he was, but then he had no end product. He wasn't going anywhere with his dribbling. His dribbling was more often used to get other deadlier players like Eden Hazard or Kevin De Bruyne into place. But that has changed, and of late, he has been having end product to his dribbling. He finished last match with 4 assists and a goal, and Chelsea do not have a fullback in the left position because we have Cucurella. I'm not insulting the player, but then again at the end of the day, he's not the strongest one-on-one defender out there. And if you are playing Levi Colwill as a makeshift left back instead of Cucurella, I would think as good a defender as Colwill is on the ground, the acceleration and the praise, it's just going to work in Doku's favor.
yeah.
So City have the advantage.